Welcome to Moments of Awe. I'm Catherine Plano, your host, committed to steering you on a life-altering journey of self-discovery. Our channel is a sanctuary of self-growth, serving as a treasure trove of inspiration and actionable resources. We'll explore techniques to build a successful mindset, enrich relationships, and tap into the hidden potential of your mind. Imagine leading an extraordinary life equipped with boosted confidence, motivation, and a proven track record of exceptional outcomes. That's what we strive for. When you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you'll be in good company with a vibrant community dedicated to personal advancement. Plus, you'll get instant notifications each time we drop a transformative session, so you never miss out on these growth opportunities. You can learn more about me in the description below. If you want personalized coaching, the More button is your gateway to book a one-on-one session with me. If you're new to my channel, we urge you to like and subscribe. Not only does it make our content more accessible to others, but it also ensures you to stay connected with our growing community. Your feedback matters, so share your insights, questions, or any breakthrough moments. If an episode resonates with you, spread the word and empower others. Remember, as we uplift others, we elevate ourselves too. Until the next time, my friends, sending you an abundance of love, peace, and blessings your way. Namaste. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to another Moment of Awe. I am your host, Catherine Plano, and today we delve into the complex realm of setting boundaries. Boundaries, my friends, are the very essence of who we are. They define our individuality, protect our emotional well-being, and uphold our dignity. They are not about seclusion, rather they reflect our self-respect. They allow us to share our space with others, but not invade theirs. In this episode, we're going to examine the battle an empath faces when it comes to setting boundaries and why so many of us grapple with this simple act of self-care. As always, we will unpack 3 golden insights that will provide you with an empowering perspective on establishing boundaries, both with others and within yourself. As we unfold these insights today, we'll explore how you can gently incorporate these principles into your own life. We'll look at how to identify when a boundary has been crossed, how to communicate and reinforce your boundaries effectively, and how to maintain these boundaries even when faced with resistance. So as we journey together today, I invite you to open your hearts and minds. We're going to challenge old paradigms, confront old fears, and take courageous steps towards strengthening our own boundaries. Are you ready? Insight number 1, keeping the promises you make to yourself. We often break the most important promises we make to ourselves. When we tell ourselves, I will not tolerate disrespect, or I will limit my time on social media, and fail to follow through, we erode our own self-respect. The lesson here is that by setting boundaries, we teach others how to treat us, and more importantly, how we should treat ourselves. This insight is about keeping the promises you make to yourself. Often these are the promises we break the most, and in doing so, we send ourselves a dangerous message that we are not as important as others. But what if we could change this narrative? What if we could start small, pick one promise, and stick to it until it becomes a habit? Imagine the confidence and inner strength that would build within you, the sense of self-trust that would blossom. In this ocean of life, as we navigate through waves of interactions, experiences, and emotions, it's easy to lose sight of our own personal compass, the one that leads us to self-respect and self-love. That's why I want to dive deeper into our first golden insight, keeping the promises we make to ourselves. It's about recognizing that our relationship with ourselves sets the tone for our relationships with others. Consider a moment when you've told yourself, enough is enough. I won't allow this person to speak to me in that manner. Now think about how many times you've let that resolve slip away, allowing the same cycle of disrespect to repeat itself. What happens when we break such promises to ourselves? Well, the answer is simple yet profound. We're teaching ourselves that it's acceptable to be disrespected, that we don't have to be taken seriously. And let me tell you, my friends, there is nothing further from the truth. Each of us deserve respect from ourselves and from others. So how can we keep the promises we make to ourselves? The trick is to start small. Change doesn't have to be monumental. It can be subtle, consistent, and achievable. Take a step back and ask yourself, what's one promise I've been struggling to keep? It could be reducing time spent scrolling aimlessly on social media, or ensuring that your opinions are heard and respected in personal or professional conversations. Once you've identified that promise, it's time to act. If it's about limiting social media usage, set realistic goals. You could start with, I'll not check my social media platforms for the first hour after I wake up. This seemingly small action can lead to big shifts in your daily routine, leaving you with more time for self-care and productive activities. When it comes to being treated with respect, it's about firmly and gracefully communicating your boundaries. It could be as simple as stating, I value our relationship, but when you speak to me in that tone, it feels disrespectful. I'd appreciate it if we could have these conversations in a more respectful manner. By keeping these promises to ourselves, we're not just setting boundaries, we're also reinforcing our self-respect. We're teaching others how to treat us by showing them how we treat ourselves. Remember, each promise kept is a small victory, a step forward on the path of self-love and respect. And in this journey of self-growth, there are no small victories. Each step counts. Each day matters. Insight number 2, daring to set boundaries is an act of self-empowerment. When we honor our feelings, wants, and needs, we affirm our self-worth. We raise our vibrational frequency, transforming frustration into dedication and unlocking a newfound sense of happiness, empowerment, and freedom. Let's dive deeper into the power of setting boundaries. Remember, darlings, the moment you give yourself permission to set boundaries, you're giving yourself permission to honor yourself, to honor your feelings, your wants, and needs. Think about a time when you felt most frustrated or overwhelmed. Chances are it's a situation where your boundaries were blurred or completely ignored. The question isn't whether we need boundaries. We all do. The real question is, how do we dare to set them? How do we cultivate the courage to affirm our self-worth? And here's where the real magic happens. When we dare to set boundaries, we affirm our value and we make a powerful statement to the world and ourselves, I matter. This simple yet profound act can radically transform your energy, shifting us from a state of frustration to a state of dedication. And when your dedicated to honoring your boundaries, it unlocks a cascade of positive emotions, happiness, empowerment, freedom. And suddenly, life isn't something happening to you, it's happening for you. So, how can you apply this in your own life? Here's a small, actionable step you can take right now. Identify one area of your life where you are feeling frustrated or undervalued. It could be a personal relationship, a professional interaction, or even the time you allot to self-care. Now, once you've identified this area, the next step is to set a clear boundary. For instance, if you find that your work is constantly spilling into your personal time, you could set a boundary by designating certain hours of the day as unplugged time, free from work-related calls and emails. If you're dealing with a relationship where your feelings are constantly ignored, it's time to communicate your needs more clearly. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but remember, it's crucial for your emotional well-being. The conversation could start with, I value our relationship a lot, but I also value my feelings and my needs. I'd like for us to find a way to respect both. By setting these boundaries, you're not just solving immediate problems, you're raising your vibrational frequency. You're moving from a reactive state to a proactive state, from being a victim of circumstances to being the master of your destiny. As we journey along the path of self-love and empowerment, the ability to set and honor boundaries become an invaluable tool. Embrace it, my friends. Dare to set boundaries and watch as your life transforms. Insight number 3. Generous people set boundaries. Yes, you heard it right. Generous people set boundaries. People pleasing is often an outcome of a desire to belong, to be validated, and to avoid conflict. However, the art of setting boundaries is about learning to say no, while still being a kind-hearted person. This final insight may come as a surprise to many of us. Here it is. Generous people set boundaries. You may be wondering, how can this be? Doesn't generosity mean always saying yes and doing for others? This, my friends, is a pervasive myth. As people pleasers, we often confuse generosity with self-neglect. We believe that in order to be accepted, loved, and validated, we need to constantly put the needs of others before our own. We go out of our way to avoid conflict, even at the expense of our own well-being. But this isn't true generosity. True generosity comes from a place of abundance and self-respect. When we set boundaries, we are not rejecting others or being selfish. Instead, we are acknowledging our worth and establishing the respect we deserve. The best part is, we can do this and still remain the kind-hearted, giving people we strive to be. Let's break it down into a real life example. Say you have a friend who constantly calls you late at night, disturbing your sleep and leaving you feeling exhausted in the morning. In this situation, a people pleaser might continue to take these late night calls, neglecting their own needs for rest in order to be available for their friend. But what would a generous person with healthy boundaries do? They might tell their friend, I really value our chats, but I can't continue them late at night as it disrupts my sleep and my day. Let's catch up at a time that works for both of us. You see, you're not rejecting your friend. You're simply setting a boundary that respects your needs and maintains the relationship. Excuse me. The actionable step you can take from this insight is to identify a situation where you're overextending yourself to please others. What boundaries can you set that would respect your needs while maintaining your relationships. Practice expressing this boundary in a clear, assertive yet kind manner. And remember, you might face resistance when you first start setting boundaries, but stand firm. By showing respect for your own needs, you're teaching others to do the same. You're embodying true generosity not only to yourself, but also those around you. Setting boundaries might seem daunting at first, but with practice, it will become a natural part of how you navigate your relationships and your life. It's a tool that empowers you to be the best version of yourself. So embrace it with open arms. After all, we all deserve respect, love, and generosity, especially from ourselves. Before we wrap up today's episode, as always, to support your journey and make the exploration of your personal boundaries more tangible, we put together a specially designed worksheet for you. And this interactive tool will guide you through the process of establishing your boundaries, providing you with concrete steps and thought-provoking questions. Check out the link in the show notes to download your free boundaries worksheets. And it's my heartfelt gift to you, designed to empower you on this journey. And remember, this journey of self-empowerment and setting boundaries is not meant to be traveled alone. We all have someone in our life who could benefit from understanding our boundaries better, right? So, if today's episode has resonated with you, I invite you to share it with those who might need to hear this message. By sharing, we create a ripple effect, enabling more and more individuals to feel empowered, heard, and respected. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe and like our show. Why, you may ask? Because the more subscribers we have, the further we can reach. It's not just about numbers. It's about creating a global community of people who are committed to personal growth and making a difference. Together, we can bring about transformational change one episode at a time. So click on that subscribe button, share this episode, and remember, each action you take brings us one step closer to touching more lives. Together, we can create a world that respects boundaries and cherishes personal growth. Well, you beautiful souls, we've reached the end of another episode. Today, we ventured into the empowering world of boundaries, a topic that's often misunderstood and underappreciated. So I hope that our conversation has shed light on how boundaries, far from being restrictive, are our pathway to freedom, respect, and self-love. Remember, setting boundaries is an act of defiance, but a declaration of self-worth. It's an essential tool for fostering healthy relationships and nurturing our own well-being. Whether it's promising to take care of ourselves or learning to say no to others with kindness and respect, each step you take towards defining your boundaries is a step towards becoming the best version of yourself. So, dear ones, as we close this episode, I urge you to take this moment of self-awareness and apply it in your everyday life. Take small, manageable steps. Begin with one promise to yourself, honor it, and then slowly expand your boundaries. And don't forget, in this journey of self-discovery and growth, it's okay to stumble. What matters is that you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep going. Be gentle with yourself. And remember, the journey to self-discovery is a marathon, not a sprint. So until next time, remember, you are powerful, you are worthy, and you are capable of setting boundaries that serve you. It's been a pleasure to be with you today. This is me signing off. Until the next time, please take care, be kind to yourself, and keep shining your light bright. Namaste.